So we actually allowed me into his house with the condition of him being able to, like us, have stuff.
What I learned from this interview is the thing that Ifan said, and I said at the end, which is anybody can survive anything. Anybody can go through the most horrendous experience. I've shared in the past edition of the show, one of my favorite books is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, who survived the most horrendous experience in the Holocaust. And what Ifan has shown us today is that, think about how terrible that experience would be, raped at 10 by a man, abandoned by your parents, having nowhere to go, growing up in a brothel, and just being able to go from there to a filmmaker who gets it, who can get things done. But also, when I gave Ifan the opportunity at 19, I didn't know how important that opportunity was for Ifan. I just did it because it was the right thing to do. And to hear him talk about how that validated his spirit just reminded me of why it's important to see the stardom in people. Just see it, just respect it, just recognize it. But this is why we are human beings, isn't it? This is why we are human. This is what it means to be human. These moments are the moments that truly matter. Lutana was an ambitious film. I saw Lutana. I watched it. I like Lutana actually.
Okay.
And The Foreigner's God, another ambitious project. How are you able to? And before this, you didn't have any experience in film.
Right.
Yeah. How did you think to yourself, I can do this, and actually do it? What was it's audacious, isn't it?
Well, Chude, I'm sure from the very start,
Yeah.
You never knew how much of an instrument you've been to me.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Okay.
So from the days of Why Naija, like I knew you actually gave me my first opportunity as a stylist. Well, I actually started as a filmmaker.
Nice.
Even though no one knew that part of me as Ifan, but you actually believed in my talent. You gave me the belief. Even no one knew what my relationship with you and the Wine and Jack team, but you actually gave me an air to be able to announce myself as a stylist and as that I was of a fashion editor. Then Talking Back and Wine, everyone reached out to me. Fine Decay, everyone were up to me as a stylist to by Okelawan and the rest of them.
The fashion designer.
The fashion editor. So what this just brought to me is a new air. You loved me. I knew the period when I came to Port Harcourt, even when Future Awards was done in Port Harcourt, but you were like, Bukola, you must pay Ifan. I never forgot this, and I have to respect you as my mentor and respect you as someone who saw a true belief and a true talent in me as Ifan Michaels, and I must give that to you. So me growing through these things, just made me a better person. It just made me someone that people could see talent in, and someone who could see vision and see believe in. I can remember when Temi-san sends me, he sends me DM like, oh, I see so much talent in you, and I love you so much, and I feel like you can mentor me. I'm not, this is actually not a joke, but it's the reality. Those things just give me so much belief to say that, oh, you know what, there's something I'm doing that is remarkable and something that people can actually see hope in, and that have kept me going. So, and for every interview I've actually granted, you've been one of my, I'm part of my success story today.
Yeah. I'm glad. Thank you for saying
Thank
that.
you.
So essentially, you're saying that the fact that people believed in you, myself included,
Right.
made you believe that you could do even bigger and
better
projects.
Should have.
But I mean, filmmaking is such a huge thing. How did you get to a point where you thought, you know what, I can get this done? Like, so yes, people support you, people encourage you, yes, but still to be able to say, look, I can produce a film, and I can do this, and not just a film that people do generally, not comedy, not slapstick, but something really significant. How do you get to that point?
Well, I've actually told people that I don't know how I do the things I do, but I do them. That sounds very, I know, but for me, really, from the day one, I've always known that I'm a star. I've always known I'm a star, and I'm not afraid of that because I know that I do something different from what every other people do. So I've always known I'm a star, but I just never knew when this will harness. That's the honest truth, And for every time, I'm not going to lie to you, Mr. Chude. Like, one of the part of the reasons why I am granting this interview is simply because for every time we've had this conversation, for every time you've seen me grow, you always support me. And you always tell everyone, like, oh, no, pay Ifan. Even if he's not on the job, pay Ifan. I knew when Bukola told me, oh, Chude said, I will have to pay you no matter what. We must pay you. That gave me so much courage. That gave me so much belief to know that, okay, there's something right I'm actually doing that people can see and they can relate to, and that gave me so much courage. So I know I was actually diving into it, into an industry that is very tough, an industry that I have to, know my back and forth to push. But people like you actually give me that courage to know that, you know what, I'm actually doing something right, and you actually believe in my talent, and that
gives you the courage. Love gives you courage. Love gives you
courage.
But I mean, one of the reasons I was talking to you was this. You're coming to Lagos. You were not based in Lagos. You moved to Lagos. You moved to Lagos from where?
I came to Lagos at the age of 10.
So you came into Lagos. You didn't have anyone in Lagos. You see.
I never had anyone when I came to Lagos.
So when you came in, so you're talking about this. Your friend helped you at that time.
Yes.
Yeah, but then you had something happen to you when you came to Lagos. Yeah. So tell me, you were living with someone.
When I came to Lagos, I was living with a call girl.
Okay.
She's named Chidima.
Okay.
So Chidima that was in Surulere. Chidima, she was a call girl. She had a place in where they call in Surulere, where they call Babajide.
Okay.
Babajide is actually like a call center for like what we call the runs girls.
Yeah.
So I was actually staying with Chidima.
Right.
Because at that point she actually took me in because I was an Igbo boy, and she heard my name Ifan, and she was like, oh, Ifan, okay, now how far and all that. I explained my situation to her, and she felt like, okay, she can actually take me as a son under her wings. And
so you grew up in a brothel, essentially.
True that. Yes, I did.
Right.
Yes, I did. So Chidima, at the end of the day, sometimes in the morning, afternoon, she does her, her normal
customers
job.
Coming.
Customers coming in. She most times I actually sleep like late in the middle of the night
because she's been busy through the day.
She's busy like doing her, her stuff. I'm not in the right frame of mind to put Chidima on the spot, but Chidima was a helping progress.
So she was good to you?
She was super good to me. Chidima, never just had someone like me, but she had other people under her wings that she was also helping because she felt like they had, they needed shield, they needed support, they needed, encouragement. And so she became like the mother hen who needed to support people like us, who never had any hope, who never had anybody under our shoulders to support, and then she gave us.
How long were you with? How long did she take you under her wing?
I was with Chidima over almost a year.
A year
with Chidima before I also had other voice. Like
Yeah.
I had other place where I had to stay
Yes.
before my rape incident.
Yes. So I mean, I want to. So I know you shared this with the producers before this. So in this process of finding a place to stay, to live in Lagos, you stayed with a man who sexually abused you.
Right.
Right. How old were you at this time?
I was 10.
Okay. So, oh, okay. I wasn't ready for that.
I
wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for that. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Can somebody get me tissue? But just give it to me. I'm sorry. Okay, here. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Do you need it? I'm so sorry. Okay. When we come back,
I never went to school. I was just a boy who just felt like, you know what?
I'm going to
However
make
life
my way.
leads me through, let me just flow with the
Just flow
moment.
with it. This is your first time of talking about this publicly, isn't it?
I had a conversation with Liz, but I thought never to have this conversation anymore because I've moved past this, but it's fine.
All right. So do I continue?
Let's go.
Okay. So when you were living with Chidema, how old were you then?
I was 10 when I lived with Chidema.
Okay, so did this happen while you were living with Chidema? Okay, so this happened when you were 10.
At some point, Chidema started having some form of harassment because she was actually lobbying me into her room. You know, after she's done with her her day-to-day life. You know, so it was looking like, okay, why are you having this boy? This was be a girls' camp, and why are you having a boy? Are you sleeping with this boy, or what's going on? So at that point in time,
She was asking you this.
No, they were asking.
Okay,
her
why
because
do you have this boy?
Yeah, because on a normal day it's supposed to be like an environment for just females doing their thing.
Right. So they wondered whether she was sleeping with you, even though you were 10.
Yeah, so because I was young.
Well, it was a brothel, so yeah.
So at some point I just had to leave because so when I left, because I saw all the emotional trauma she was actually getting because she was harboring me in her space. So at that point in time, I just said like, you know what, nah, it's just best I leave, you know. And because I'm a hustler, I just came to Lagos at the age of 10, and a marketer brought me to Lagos.
A marketer?
A marketer.
What do you mean by marketer?
I was in Enugu when I met Ogabi, and
You mean a movie marketer?
A movie marketer.
Right.
So I was in Enugu when I met the marketer, and he actually told me, okay, fine, you know, amazing, I have a beautiful story, and you know, I told him, I can actually explore the stories.
You have a beautiful story.
I had a story.
A story for a movie.
Story, yes,
right.
A movie story.
Okay.
So I told him I actually have this movie story, and I can actually come to Lagos to, you know, harness the story.
Right.
So he saw like, oh wow, you're a talent. Okay, fine, come to Lagos and I'll help you out with the story. So on my way to Lagos, I got to National Theatre, and then his phones were switched off. So, you know, the only person actually, you know, here at that point in time was National Theatre and Winners Hotel. And
so wait, where were your parents?
At that point in time, my parents had separated.
So where was you? Okay.
I was in Port Harcourt then, so I left my parents in Port Harcourt to Enugu, and in Enugu was where I met Ogabi. And
So,
Ogabi
are your parents still
invited
alive?
me. Yeah, they're still alive.
Do you still have a relationship with them?
Well, I still have a relationship with my parents.
So it's rock.
In a funny way, yes.
So essentially, your parents were not helping at that time.
They were not helping.
Which is why you went to Enugu.
Yes.
And in Enugu, Ogabi said, "Come to Lagos."
He brought me to Lagos.
Ogabi. So
Innovation.
Was he based in Lagos as well?
He was based on
When you got
Lagos.
into Lagos, you couldn't reach him.
I couldn't reach him.
And you were at the National Theatre.
Phones were switched off.
Right.
At that point in time, when I got to Lagos, from Ojota, I got to CMM to Costain.
Right.
So Costain was like the only place I could, at that point in time, I didn't know that I was close to National Theatre. So I got to Costain.
But were you supposed to meet him at National Theatre?
Yeah, National Theatre.
So you got to National Theatre and you didn't see him?
I didn't see him.
Because he wasn't picking up his phone?
Right.
Then, so where did you sleep? So what did you do?
Well, at that point in time, the only second place I could hear at that point in time was Winnie's Hotel.
Winnie's Hotel, which was where movie
makers,
people
they
were.
always hang
Winnie's Hotel
out.
was where? Winnie's Hotel was in
Surulere.
Was it around where?
It was in Kilo, Surulere.
Yes, so Winnie's was in Kilo. Yes, I remember Winnie's.
Surulere.
Yes. Because just by where Liberty Films was.
It was.
Okay, so Kilo.
Yeah.
So how did you meet Chidinma?
Well, everyone who knows the story will know that Babajide is actually close to Surulere.
Yes.
And anyone who knows will know that, oh, fine, there was, there's like a call place for girls at Babajide in front of Kilo before you get to Surulere.
Right, so you were in the vicinity.
I was in the vicinity.
Right, so that's how you met Chidinma.
That's how I met Chidinma.
Okay, and you were 10 at this time.
I was 10.
Which must have been a really scary time.
Right.
But then even the Chidinma you couldn't stay long with, even though she wanted to help you, because people were constantly asking her, what's this little boy doing in your room?
Right.
So you had to leave.
Right.
So where did you leave to? How did you find?
Well, when I left, that was when I got into the hands of Bros Obi. Bros Obi was actually like the person who he's the barber.
Right.
At that point in time, I actually just spoke to Bros Obi like, oh, Bros Obi, sorry, I'm actually having an issue with where I'm staying.
But I thought you said there was a woman before Bros Obi that you stayed.
The woman before Bros Obi was Chidinma.
Okay, so so it was one woman and then Bros Obi.
So I stayed with Chidinma for a period.
Then
but in that period, we're also facing
all these
obstacles
challenges
of like, okay, guy, Chidinma,
why is this guy
staying
here? Right,
here?
okay, that makes sense.
You're supposed to be a runs girl, but why is this boy
So you now met this barber called Bros Obi.
Bros Obi.
Who now said he could take you into his house.
Into his home.
Was this also in Surulere?
Right, in Surulere.
Around the same. Right. So Lawanstein is just around Surulere. Yes, in Surulere. And so you moved into Bros Obi's house as a 10-year-old.
Yes.
And then what happened?
Bros Obi actually allowed me into his house with the condition of him being able to, like, for us to have stuff.
So this guy, this barber Bros Obi, who was clearly an adult, yeah? So, 20s, 30s, about that. 30s, said to you that I will keep you in my house. I'm really sorry. Let's take a break. Guys, let's cut. Let's get. When we come back,
I knew I was a star, but I never knew when it was gonna harness. That was just my only defect.
all right, so, and don't forget we can stop at any time. So you were 10, and this man says, well, I know you're having problems with Chidinma, but if I can take you in, but only if I will sleep with you. Yeah?
Right.
And you had no choice, obviously. There was no other place for you to go to.
I had no choice.
So you went into this place, yeah? And then what happened? Or what?
It became what it was. And
so this man began to abuse you sexually constantly.
Right. Because where do I have to go at a point in time? Where do I have to stay at a point in time when your parents are no more, and where do you want to go to? You want to go back to, a separated family?
What age? What year was this?
I was at the age of 10.
No, what
10
year?
is a long time.
No, what year?
This was in, I think, 2000 and, was it 2001 or 2002?
Right. I mean, so this follow-up question is I can understand the answer, but I need to ask it. So, because what I was asking was, you couldn't call your parents at home and say there was no.
I couldn't go back to my parents because.
I mean, none of it, and I'm not saying any of this is your fault, obviously. Obviously.
I couldn't go back to my parents because even my parents don't even know if I existed.
Right. So you're right. Right.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like the right word to use.
Yes, that's it.
Like,
so they didn't care. So nobody cared.
Yeah, if I exist.
Where is this person that you're talking about? I mean, I don't even know what to ask. Like, it's a horrible thing. I don't know. Okay, so how long were you with Bros Ubi for? How long did you spend in this house?
I was with Bros Ubi for as long as I could at that point in time.
When did you leave? But how did you leave?
How did I leave?
How did you leave? I mean, like, how did you leave the place?
I think how I left was him being able to also accommodate another person.
Another boy?
Another girl.
Okay.
Who came into the house, and then she became like an embargo to say, oh wow, because I told her like.
You told her what was happening?
I told her like, you just can't be sleeping with this guy because we are all just here for. He's giving us he's more like a saving grace. So
he's more like okay. Well,
saving at that point.
That was what you were thinking about.
So that was my orientation.
Did you know that this was abuse? How did you process it?
Well, probably I wouldn't have saw this as an abuse because in Lagos where you have no place to stay, someone is paying the bills. You're only just
So you thought that this person was saving you?
I felt like it was more like a saving grace.
Whew, Jehovah. Okay, so this lady comes. He's dating this lady.
She came in and she started sleeping with him. And
was this a young girl as well?
Also a young girl.
Below 18, I'm assuming.
Yeah, she should be 18 or 17 probably. And then I spoke to her and I told her what's her name then? Akuna. I told her, Akuna, you can't be doing this thing because this guy is actually like helping us out here. She also came from Port Harcourt.
You can't be doing what?
Huh?
That you can't be doing what?
I just told her that she can't be sleeping with him because at the end of the day, this guy is actually helping us. So she went back to tell the guy that I said that she's sleeping with him. And for the fact she's actually sleeping with him, that I'm not comfortable with it. So he now had to chase me out of the house. And he chased me out of the house around, 1 o'clock a.m. in the night. So then I had to leave the house. And that was how I met some OPC guys who actually, like, if I show you my back, I have like a scar in my back.
Right.
Yeah. So I had like a scar in my back. So at that point in time, when I met the OPC guys, they had to, they flogged me at that point in time. They thought I was a thief. They thought I was someone who...
So you came, right, so is that what you meant? When you said meet OPC guy, I thought they were going to help you. So you came out of the house.
They didn't help me.
An OPC guy
I came out of the house around 12 a.m. to 1 at that point in time. So they allowed me sleep. So they came to me, they slapped me, they started flogging me, and I had like a scar in my back, which I can show you. I had a scar in my back, and that's also part of my journey. I can show you the scar in my back if I have to pull my shirt.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
So okay. Oh my God. Okay, so. Wow, Afan, this is heavy. So how did you find a place to stay after that? Please don't tell me that more abuse happened after this.
So much more happened, Mr. Chude. Or just want me to have this interview with me crying all through this interview?
Crying is completely fine.
It is what it is. Life of a hustler.
So based on what you're saying to me, obvious, and I can imagine how these things happen. So they continue to be. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Okay, so you kept trying to find a way. You were hustling, trying to find a way to live. So I'm assuming that this abuse continued over time. But how did you manage to come out of it? To at least get...
Mr. Chude, I knew I was the star.
Yes.
I knew.
So it makes sense why this is important. This was important
Mr.
for you.
Chude, I knew I was the star. I knew I was a star, but I never knew when it was gonna harness. That was just my only defect. Like I knew like I had something in me that was different from what anyone had. I knew I was talented, you know, and that was like part of my story, and that was part of like the reason why I'm Ifan.
So that kept you going.
That kept me going.
This idea that you were a star.
Yeah.
So what did you consider the first time when you got a chance to begin to build your career?
Never to blow my chances. Never to blow my chances. Never to blow my chances. Never to blow my chances of belief that I had. And that was why the reason why when you gave me the opportunity to style Timida Kolo, you gave me the opportunity to style Tarafela Durotoye. You know, I knew I wasn't a stylist. I knew I wasn't, but I just had to just flow with the moment. And because I knew that there was something different about me, and there was something very pessimistic about me for change.
Something that was driving
you know, just something with me was driving me. I knew, oh, this Port Harcourt boy that just came from Port Harcourt and was just doing my thing. I just had to just hold on to that, and I was able to hold my dream through it all, and that kept me going. That kept me. And, you know, for once, I never felt like I couldn't do it. For once, I never felt like I cannot. I just knew I was a creative. I just knew that, okay, you know what? Everything that was happening to me, you know, was just a channel for me to showcase myself, for me to just show myself, for me to just be able to be real with my emotions, with myself. And I knew like there was no one I could talk to that might probably believe what I was saying, but at that point in time, because you were able to connect with me, because you were able to see the larger than life attitude in me, and I was able to grow with it, and you know, that just took me to the next level, to be honest.
That makes sense. Why? Because I was a bit uncomfortable when you were talking about, and take your time, when you were talking about, oh, me helping, but now it makes sense to me why that mattered to you. Because when you did the first Timi Dakolo cover for a while, I think this was around 2010. That means you were about 18 or 19 at the time.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense. Okay. All right. So this was the thing that helped you. How was that for you? That made you, what did that do for you? That made you know that, yes, this idea that you're a star was not a lie. Yes, it was proof.
Because to me, it was shocking.
Yes.
To me, it was shocking. To me, it was an experience. Why is it an experience to me? It's simply because why would someone just believe in me? Someone who haven't seen my work or the things that I've actually done.
Yes.
But the person could actually believe in me and give me such a huge start at that point in time to, you know, to explore my talent. So I felt like, you know what, why am I doing this? But I had to just take on, I took on the trip to do it because I knew that, there was so much expectation needed from me. And I also want to tell my story, and I also wanted people to be able to connect with my story. Because there's one need you telling people your story. There's one thing you telling them, oh, this is what you faced, but they can't just connect with it physically, or they can't even just connect with it with you just saying it. So you have to show it. You have to prove it.
Yes, that is true.
You understand? Because
most times
I feel like, I don't want to just come and just start telling people, this is what I've been through without me.
This is the first time
without them seeing through the journey, without them understanding the journey of what I have been through.
So that's why now you can tell that story.
I can
because
tell.
you don't feel like you're using that story to get sympathy, because your work
I don't want
has
sympathy.
shown
I don't want
itself.
sympathy because if I truly wanted sympathy,
Yeah, you'd have used it.
You know, I'd have used it a long time
Yes.
ago. But I don't want sympathy. I don't want people to feel sorry for me.
That's powerful.
I don't want people to feel sorry
That's
for
powerful.
me.
I don't feel sorry for
Mr.
you
Chude.
because I don't feel sorry for you because
I don't want
I
people to
know
feel
what you've
sorry for me
accomplished.
because such is life.
Yes.
And forever, for all what I go through, you know, for all what I go through, I just take it as life.
Yeah.
You know?
So now,
but me being able to affect lives, me being able to, you know, tell people what I've been through,
True.
and them seeing what I've been through, and for them to be able to understand me and truly, because it's one thing for you to hear someone's journey and see someone's, you know, through his or her pain, and you being able to believe the person. That's one thing, you know, and the other is for you to be able to accept it and say, oh, you know what?
right.
I'm not going to do anything for publicity because I have the money to pay for publicity at this point of my career. I can pay anybody to, you know, put whatever thing you want to put out there. But, you know, me getting recommendation of people telling me, oh, thank you so much for, you know, for making me tell my own story, for me being able to tell my truth, for me being able to, you know, what you're going through, I've actually gone through this. It gives me so much joy.
Did you do anything to help yourself overcome this mentally and emotionally?
Well,
is there anything, or you just kept working?
I think over time, because there were no, at that point in time, there were nowhere to go to. Right. I just felt like, you know what,
let's focus on the
is it this talent of mine, or do I have to, you know, go through the other route? And the other route will not help me because at that point in time, you're actually just calling out people who don't even care about you. Yes. People, you know, who must have even gone on with their life.
Yes.
You know, so for me personally, I just felt like, you know what, let me focus on my talent, focus on myself. You know, there were times I cried and nobody knew I cried. There were times in my room I have to breathe tears. But and to be honest with you, I never went to school, so like it's very, like, I know like most people won't believe that. I never went to school. I was just a boy who just felt like, you know what, however life leads me through, let me just flow with the moment. So you know, so that was just, you know, I was just moving with that, and I had to educate myself.
So right now, do you think that right now you at least have some, you have money, you have money, you have fame, you have some power? Have you been able? Do you think that you've tried to? Do you think that you should get someone to at least help you walk through the emotions of this? Because there's a sense in which, yes, so you are succeeding, but I mean, I'm looking at you now, and obviously just recalling this. Look at what we've come to here, and look at what it has done to you. Do you think it's time to just get that help, to get someone to just help you walk through the emotions? Walk through the thing that it must have done to your mind? Is that something that you would consider?
Well, in terms of consideration, I've moved past this, to be honest. Mr. Chude, I've moved past this. You know, do you know why I've moved past this? I've moved on because I have seen situations, you know, that is unbearable to myself, to be honest. And, you know, I'm only just going back to this because I also need to give hope to other people who truly deserves hope.
All right, that's
fine. You know, and be honest with you, like, I have moved. I'm doing well, you know, at least by the time you mention few filmmakers in the industry, you're able to mention my name, and that gives me so much encouragement, so much hope.
Right, and you're still so young, so you have so much else to do. I find stands as testimony that anything is possible in this world. Thank you so much for doing this, Ifan. So he's a successful person, he's a successful filmmaker. You know, the show is about also helping other people, not just about talking.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, what's the next step for that? Should I have another conversation with him, outside of an interview to be like, I gently think that you should talk to someone? Or what's the right thing to do in a situation like this? Or should I just leave it since he said nothing? Just make it like, I'm here for you, whenever you need. What? I don't know.
I think just like you had rightly said initially, the fact that it's on camera and all that, and he might feel that, okay, I'm here to help people.
Yes.
So to be vulnerable, to say I need, to get help, I haven't dealt with it, maybe an uncomfortable thing, but he might
Right.
actually think he's dealt with it. So
Yes.
afterwards, off camera, I might
Yes.
just want to check on him.
Just check on him.
Yes.
Right.
And if he says he's fine, he doesn't need it, there's no need to push.
Right.
Just let him know that I'm here if you ever need
If you ever,
that.
yeah. Okay. All right. And of course, psychology is someone that he can see if he does choose. Just so that. But then generally for people as well, so a psychologist, a psychiatrist are the people that they can meet if they're dealing with something like this. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Okay. I'll call you again. I want to have more conversation with you.